All right, and so we're live for the third time. Maybe, we hope third time is charm. We hope third time is charm, but we shall see. It remains to be seen. Thanks everybody for bearing with us this wonky Friday evening. We've never had this many problems before, so what are you going to do? Okay, we have one request there. There's David's request, and then let's see. We'll wait for him to chat. Yeah, we'll hope third time is the charm, and then we'll once David comes in, we'll invite John. It's been a train wreck. Let's see.
What an unmitigated disaster. We're going to lose
John.
our viewership. We're going to end up with like 10 people watching this motherfucker.
We'll see.
Oh, there it works.
Now, there we go.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That
How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
Yes. I'm doing really well. Literally 2 minutes before it started, everything worked. Wi-Fi was great, and of course it doesn't.
Well, I guess we might want to let people know who you are. So
Okay.
we have this evening John from 345 Soap Company. John, tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever you'd like to share to lead off this evening.
Sure. Well, good evening, everybody. As Chris said, I'm John. I am from Colorado. I am married and have 3 kids. I was born and raised here. After high school, I joined the Army. After that, I came back to Colorado, went to northern Colorado, where I met my wife, and we just kind of stayed here in northern Colorado.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, man, it's
Doing-
great. It's actually quite warm here in Southern California. Like, I'm sweating over here. I might have to have the towel dab in the forehead because I think we're like 80-something degrees today.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's been pretty warm here as well. Before we kick it off, we do have to congratulate Locent Skeletor, also known as Nate, on siring a son, I'm told, to be called Little Scent, I've been told. And so we're very proud of Nate for getting the job done there and bringing a little scented into the world. So that's awesome. So congrats, Nate.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to Nate to even have Judy let him touch her. So that's a great accomplishment in itself.
It's a big accomplishment.
There we go. Cheers.
It's a major, yeah.
Cheers.
Here's to you, Locent Skeletor. Great job. You did it right. Great job. So John, you taught us a little bit about yourself. When did you get involved with traditional shaving? Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm. No, that's all right. Sorry. Yeah.
When did you get involved with traditional shaving? Did you start to stumble in as a result of soap making, or were you first a hobbyist? Or I think we're freezing again. Oh, no, we're good.
I got involved probably a couple of years ago. I think it started, on my website, I have basically how 345 started. Mm-hmm. I literally ran out of soap in the shower one day. And 4 days of using my wife's body wash stuff that was just not very good, I finally had it. And I was like, you know what, dude, quit being lazy. Just go to the damn store and get some soap. Well, I was like, well, I'm busy the next day. Let me just go on Amazon. I'll just buy some and send it. Well, literally, it was like internet click, and I went down the rabbit hole, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can make some soap. Let me see what that's about. And I kind of started with that process of making bar soap because that's what I needed right then. And then as that kind of went down that path and that adventure, I thought, well, what else could I make? And I started just doing one more thing. Let me try this. Let me try a sugar scrub. Let me try a body wash. Let me try a shampoo. And then I thought, well, I shave. Let me see what's out there for, traditional shaving, wet shaving soap. And it took me a little bit to kind of figure out my recipe. And then it just kind of kept evolving and progressing from there. Yeah.
So you started out making regular bar soap, and did you happen to the hobbyist side of things first, and then decide to make the shaving soap, or did you try other things?
I did.
I think I want to try that.
It was almost simultaneously. I got into researching the soaps and what can I make better and how can I improve while I was trying to go into the hobby of wet shaving.
Okay, so you just kind of dove right in just at the beginning almost, it sounds like.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, all
that's,
within that same year.
I don't know if that's the normal path that people take, but that's an interesting one to learn, making soap right at the onset. Go ahead,
Well,
Dave.
well, how long has it been since you've been shaving?
Well, I'm 42. I started, and that's actually a funny story you bring up that I was in basic training in the Army, 18 years old, and I didn't shave. I was peach fuzz. And I remember my drill sergeant yelling at me, "No, you need to shave every day." So a good 20, 22 years.
Oh, very nice.
24. As far as
are you a DE shaver or are you a straight razor shaver?
Oh, no, double-edged safety razor. I really started to get into that just recently.
Okay,
Oh,
we're gonna have to talk. We're definitely gonna have to talk because the straight razor is the wave of the future. As funny as that sounds. And I think we have to get you evolving, baby. We got to get that straight razor going.
I would love to. It's super scary, I'm sure, as it is for everybody, right?
Absolutely.
Have you ever, in your experimentation and making sense, put together one that was so bad that you surprised yourself, at it being bad?
I'm not making this. This is.
Yeah,
put it down. Do not
put a scent combination together, and then you went, "Whoa, that's not good at all. I think I'm scrapping that one."
Yes, probably not to that extreme. But the process that my wife Annie and I do is when I have an idea for a soap or a scent or a season or something like that, we'll sit down and we'll play the chemistry thing where I'll mix a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that, and I'll probably have about 6 variations, and we'll sit there and we'll smell them together. And we'll kind of figure out this I don't like that, and she's really good at helping me kind of pick that stuff out.
Now, is she more? At what level does she participate? Are you both equally involved with the soap making and fulfillment, or is she more soap making and scenting, or how does that break down?
I would probably say I would do the majority. She is the brains of the operation, if you will. But yeah, I mean, we work together. I just love the creativity that goes involved in it. I think that's kind of what helps me. That's an outlet. That's really what kind of got started. I like the creative aspect that you can put into it. The scents, the ingredients, the storylines for the soaps. That's one thing that I do is when I make a soap, I really have a personal connection with each one that I do, whether it's the label, whether it's the artwork or the fragrance itself, or what am I trying to say when you use this soap and you have this scent, or what does it embody and what am I trying to portray? I really like that aspect.
Is your wife a wet shaver?
Kind of. So not necessarily using the razors, but she uses the soap. One of the things that I'm creating with her is that's pretty funny, is a bar soap for her, and I'm onto something with that. So we're just kind of developing that together.
What scents are you most proud of, of the ones you produce? What are a couple that you think are standouts?
I would say Shark Bite. That was probably my very first. I did that last year. In fact, it's coming out in May. That was my probably one that I really put a lot of thought and creativity into. Not just the scent, but again, with the label and what am I trying to make? What am I trying to portray with it? That was probably the one that really got me started in that creative aspect. And then it just kind of evolved as every soap that I've came out with. But I think asking that question is super hard. It's almost like asking a parent, which is your favorite kid?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have one, but I'm not really going to tell you which is my favorite.
Oh, dude, in my household,
I like them all.
We tell the kids constantly who's the favorite. We're
I know.
probably assholes for that. But
I
it's
know.
well established which one's my wife's favorite child, which one's my favorite child. We're shameless in that way. It's probably horrible. It's probably horrible.
That's right.
parenting on our part, but they know
We
who's the
do.
favorite.
I know. We have 2 girls and a boy, and so my girls already know he's the favorite. I just don't come out and say it.
You've chosen to go the route of budget friendly in your offerings thus far, which I, of course, am a big fan of. I really appreciate a good quality soap for a very reasonable price because, a lot of folks don't necessarily have a lot of expendable income to just plop down money for, $25, $30 soaps. What
Mhm.
inspired you to go that route? Because in my opinion, your soap is very well priced for what's in the soap and the way it performs. It's a very good performing soap for the money. What inspired you to sort of go that very budget-friendly route without really compromising on the quality? I think that's always a good achievement when you can do that.
Mm-hmm. From my perspective of doing that, I thought of me in mind because I'm a consumer as well. So when I look at things, I really want the best quality product that I can get, no matter what it is, for a decent price. I believe that you can have both, and that's really what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not trying to overprice something and give a soap that the quality won't back up. And I'm also not trying to underprice the value of the quality of the soap. I'm trying to have a balance, but I also understand that people have budgets. Like I said, I'm married with kids. I have a budget myself. And that's really what I try and go forward with as far as when I create something, I'm trying to think of a middle ground. It's not necessarily budget friendly as in cheap or inexpensive, but it's also not so outrageous that you won't try it.
It's sort of similar to the answer I got from Rod from Sterling last year. Is when I asked him the question, he said, I price my soaps at what I would be comfortable paying if I were buying them. And so here's sort of the what I would probably be happy to pay. And so that's what I charge. And, I always think that's a good thing to keep consumer in mind. And everybody certainly wants to make as much as they possibly can. We all understand that. But at the same time, most of us buy lots and lots of soap. So sometimes people will say, oh, you've got tons of soap and you're spending tons of money. Why do you care what a soap costs? Well, if a soap is budget friendly, then I can have even more of them. So it's kind of a no-brainer for me. If you ask me, would I rather pay $25 or $15? It's $15 every single time.
And also, Chris,
Sure.
with that, Chris, we do somewhat of a service when we do the YouTube channel. Like, I'm very open that I don't want to be very instructive, but I do want to give some value to people that just watch it for the nuts and bolts, for really just for information. And commenting on price is a good situation because that's a determining factor for a lot of consumers.
It is.
Even though I don't want to be the teacher, I don't want to be telling everybody how to shave, what to do in every little detail. We'll mention price because it does matter to a lot of people. Just because we buy outrageous amount of shit doesn't mean everybody around wants to do the same. So it's very helpful to mention price. Not for
That
our
is
own
true.
doing. We're going to buy it regardless. We're fucking stupid. We buy all kinds of stuff, and we don't need that much stuff, but we do. But a lot of people aren't like that.
Yeah, I know some people who say they only buy a certain amount. It might be 5, and that's all they keep, and they won't buy another one until they've exhausted one, and that's what their budget allows for. So when you do have companies who keep that in mind, and they have offerings that are budget friendly, and that doesn't mean cheap in terms of quality. It just means budget friendly, meaning it's something that's appealing. That's always a sweet spot. I'm a big fan of companies when they choose to go the premium route. and choose a lot more. I love it when they maintain a sort of classic budget-friendly base. So it gives people options, and I know that's very difficult to do. You got to keep a lot of stock, different containers, and so on. But
Sure.
I really appreciate the companies that allow those options. PAA does it, for example. Shannon's does it. And of course, if you're a company like yours or Sterling, you're already set at a very budget-friendly price to begin with, so it's not necessary. But if you do go the premium route someday, I hope there'll always be that sort of classic base. And this one, which you're calling Trinity, which has the 3 types of milk, which I'm sure David will love to hear about. Go ahead and tell. I'm not a base guy. Almost every soap that you buy today from a known artisan is very good. But
yes,
I do notice that your soap lathers very, very well, especially at the price. And I'm sure David would love to hear about those milks because he loves those milks in the soap.
I'm actually a big fan of milks in soaps. I think they're fucking actually really good. They create a lather that I enjoy, a style. Do I need all the fucking... Do I need all the bells and whistles in a soap? No. But there's certain ingredients that I love to look for. I love seeing some goat's milk. I love seeing cocoa butter. I like seeing shit like that because that gives a lather density that I prefer. It's just an enjoyable experience for me. So fuck yeah, put some milk in that bitch.
That's right. It takes me a really long time to milk them.
What are the 3 that? What are the 3 milks there? Is that why you call it the Trinity base?
That is one reason. Yes, I am also a Christian, and that comes from that base as well. Yep.
So tell us about the base itself, if you would.
Okay. When I created the base, I went with like version 2, which was like, it's still a really good base, but it's kind of, in my opinion, kind of basic. At that point, it didn't have any milk in it, and I was kind of missing this creaminess that David's talking about and nourishment. And so I started to explore, okay, what could I put in that would take this base to the next level? And that's where these milks kind of came in, the goat milk, the donkey milk. And then obviously I had to throw in another milk that I really haven't seen elsewhere.
I haven't seen it either.
And that's camel milk. And that's really close to, these 3 milks are really close together, and they're really close to like cow's milk, dairy milk, in those properties, I guess.
Why not just use cow's milk then? If they're similar, they have a lot of similarities in their properties. Why not just use cow's milk, since I'm sure they're easily and more readily available?
Sure. I think it's, I can't really speak as far as the scientific reason. I just know that these 3 milks provide good quality.
Yeah.
And then speaking more on the base, again, from a personal perspective as a consumer, I don't use a lot of pre-shave oil. I just go right into shaving. Okay, so I thought, well, why can't I take the pre-shave oils that they use? Why can't I just put that in the base already and then blend the 2 and get the best of both worlds? Because I feel like that's another reason why I just added a post-shave balm to the line, was because it's, for me, shaving and then post-shaving really helps nourish the skin, bring it back. Now, don't get me wrong. There are reasons for pre-shave oil.
Sure.
I'm definitely not knocking that. People do it to each their own. I just don't.
Let me ask you a question. The company name is 345 soaps. Why not 1, 2, 3 soaps? Why not 6, 7, 8 soaps? Why 3, 4, 5?
That's a great. Everybody asks me that. Like, where did you come up with your business name? So we have lived in this house probably about 5 or 6 years. When we moved in, I really started to get into like whiskey and bourbon. And so I told my wife, I said, Annie, I want to build a bar in the basement that is just a whiskey bar. And I needed to name the bar. Well, my address is 345. So I call my whiskey bar 345. And so when I started the soap company, I was like, well, I might as well go with this theme. So that's where the 345 soap came from. It's not very creative, but the way the logo is, it just kind of it's appealing. It's easy to say. You can kind of remember it.
Well, I have to ask because we do have a lot of bourbon drinkers in the community. I dabble in
Yeah.
some bourbon. I'm not a big like hobbyist bourbon drinker, but I'll enjoy some. What are your top three favorite bourbons to drink, man? What do you got usually in your cup?
I really love the Buffalo Trace line. So my top one on a daily drinker would be Eagle Rare 10-year. I think somewhere between 8 and 12-year, you really find a sweet spot with bourbon where it's not outrageously priced. It's available and it's matured in a way that it's easy drinker. So Eagle Rare 10-year. Obviously, Buffalo Trace would be a good one. Blanton's is my favorite, but it's really hard to get, and the price is starting to drive up. Oh, out in Colorado, it's damn near impossible. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's really
Well, if it's easy there, I'm gonna Venmo you some money and you can mail it to me.
Yeah, it's sitting on literally here. The Walgreens and Rite Aid sell liquor in this state, so you could just walk right in and it's like what, $60? I can't remember. $50, $60.
Yeah. Even here in California, dude, we have everything. It's no secret that California has a tendency to have an abundance of shit. Blanton's,
Right.
I don't run into it very often at all. I do have Eagle Rare. I do have Buffalo Trace. For whatever reason, I actually prefer Buffalo Trace. Eagle Rare is a little bit more on the sweet side for me. I actually prefer Buffalo.
Yeah.
Blanton's, it's a bitch. I don't see it very often at all.
One of the comments earlier that got me tickled was that Junior wrote that Los Skeletor, you were talking about milks, and he wrote that Los Skeletor drinks powdered milk, which I don't know, I just thought it was funny.
That's pretty funny.
I think Marion said he drank skim milk, and then Junior said he drinks powdered milk, so there it is. I don't know if anybody's ever used powdered milk in a shaving soap, but who knows? It could happen at any time, I guess.
Right.
What's your most what's a product that you make that you're really fond of that maybe it's not as popular as you would like it's one that you're like, I'm assuming they're all doing pretty well, because when we're going to your website, we're seeing that oftentimes they're out of stock. So but if you had one that you would consider maybe to be underrated or maybe not appreciated as much as maybe you appreciate it, would there be one scent in your line that maybe that you're a great big fan of and you think's underrated?
There are a couple probably. I have a soap called Tight Lines, and that is in Creed Aventus. And the reason that, oh yes, there you go. My mom painted that picture.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And she painted that label, and I used that artwork. And the reason that I did that label was because I have an uncle that passed away probably about a year before I made that. And I kind of did it in honor of him, because growing up, he always took me fly fishing, and he taught me pretty much everything I know about fly fishing. So I kind of did it in honor of him. When I make soaps and I make scents, I'm not trying to be vanilla in the sense of it's not exciting, it's not enticing, things like that. I would say one that was underrated, it was called Rocky Mountain Tree Line. I don't know if you guys have that.
I haven't tried that. No, I haven't tried that one.
It looks like this.
Okay.
So I came out with this last fall. It has some citrus, some pine, and some wood. That one, to me, I think they're all great, but that was probably one of the ones that didn't really catch on. And I think that was just in the start of the highlight of 345 that people really started to notice it. So I really didn't make a lot of them at that point, but it'll come back this year in the new base.
I told Junior he needs to get this one because I really like this one.
Yeah.
All red. It's really good.
I like that one. So this next release that came out with that, I took the Christmas tree out on the label.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I didn't want to make it necessarily a seasonal scent where you think, oh, it's Christmas time and that's past. I can't.
Yeah, I don't.
It is vanilla.
I don't think this would be a scent you would only use at Christmas. Of course, for me, I don't care. I'll use a scent anytime I please. I'm not beholden to those rules that other people are beholden to. But this one, I could see why you might like to use it around that time, but I don't think it needs to be. And Junior, you should get this one. I think it's good. It's very, very nice.
What is the scent breakdown on that, Chris?
Well, one of the things I like is he's got it written down here on the label: raspberry, fir needle, nutmeg, vanilla. There might be other things too, but that's what's written down, and it's good. I really like it. Excuse me.
Yeah, I wanted to use the nutmeg to kind of bring a little bit of warmth, and then have the raspberry and fir needle just to kind of give it something that you wouldn't really expect.
What's your best-selling soap to date? What's the one you think I know it's kind of a lot of times people don't know, but if you had one that you think maybe is your biggest seller, what do you think that one would be?
The top ones have been flannel shirt, white buffalo. Yep, flannel shirt.
This one is good. I think David's tried this one. It is good. I like it.
Flannel shirt is a bad motherfucker, dude. Like I've been very open with not being a big fan of sweet scents. I find that one to be a little on the sweet side, but I really enjoy it, man. If I could find a sweet scent that I enjoy, it's usually something pretty damn special because I'm usually not a sweet scent guy.
Good.
Yeah, well, thank you. I would say those. I'm going to start branching out into those date night scents, if you will. One, a casual night, and then two, looks like David. Yeah, and then an actual date night cologne type. Yeah. So I'm coming out with Derby next Friday or Saturday.
Well, one of the questions a viewer asked is, when is Shark Bite coming? Because I need to pick that one up because the one I had I gave to the stallion, so I need to buy it.
It's actually coming back in the beginning of May. Right before that is Derby. That's going to be a dupe of Baccarat Rouge 540. Then
nice.
Yep, and then May will be Shark Bite. And then I started this thing just recently for a subscription. So you mentioned that 345 is always selling out, and that's a huge blessing. But so I started a subscription that you would sign up and you would automatically get that month's release before everybody else. And obviously it wouldn't sell out because I would make it specifically for that subscription. Cool. So that's kind of cool. And the second thing is
first. I don't think I've seen that one before. I like ideas that are, new and out of the box, and that seems
on that subscription, are you guaranteeing that every month there will be a new release, or could there be a 3-month gap before I get something?
No, if you go to the site, I haven't gone past June yet, but I actually list out each month. So ahead of time which scent is coming. I like that. With it, you can pause it, you can cancel, you can restart, whatever you want to do, but it would just be automatic. So there are a lot of soap drops that come out, new soap releases, and it's kind of sometimes hard to keep up. Well, with 345, you can just kind of set it and forget it. It's going to come out every single month, and I'm going to get it no matter what. It's just going to charge your card.
I love that. One thing that I hate, and I've been very open about this in videos and on this show, I won't even bother with a site that usually it's a real limited, or if I know it sells out in 5 minutes, I'm not going to bother. It's a headache that I don't want to deal with, but this is almost a pre-sale. And I love that concept. I hope more artisans adopt this. I think that's fucking genius because nobody else has done it. I really like the idea. Hell of a job.
One of the things he's done, I've noticed, is the things sell out, but then he restocks. So I don't think you've really put anything up for a special edition, like one time only. Have you?
No.
Okay.
If I did, that would be like well known, super promoted. But unless it's like a group soap, I've done group soaps before.
Yeah.
One time, but
that's different, of course.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah. So I really, again, I don't think that I want to limit 345 or limit what I do. I want to share it with everybody. So last year was a really good year for me to figure things out, and then this year I purposely am gearing up towards wholesaling. So you'll see at 345 at top of the chain, and a really big one that's been a huge support is the Razor Company. Phenomenal.
They're getting
super nice,
Yeah,
really friendly. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for supporting them. I think they have the same work philosophy that I do as far as, you know what, we want to do good in the community. We want to build a business, obviously, but we're not going to do it in a way that offends you or in a way that slights you or anything like that. We want to have a wholesome environment where it's trusting, it's creative, things like that. So they've been awesome to work with.
I just bought Bel Air from them the other day.
Oh, you did?
It'll be here tomorrow. Normally, it would have gotten here today, but with the post office, you never know. They get it out right away, but once it's in the hands of the post office, you never know. But, tell me about Bel Air. I think that's your latest release.
It is. Again, that personal connection. So my father-in-law, Annie's dad, he restores old classic cars. And in fact, 2 of the cars that he's been working on are 56 Bel Airs. He's doing one like a traditional vintage, and then one of them is going to be a Resto mod where he's going to soup up the engine and stuff. And so just over the past 15, 16 years of being married, I've gotten to know him, he's been teaching me about, how to do that. And so that was where that personal kind of connection came through. And the scent that I wanted to create with it was, again, like not a date night, but a cologne-y type scent where when you walk into a room, people go, "Oh, you smell really nice." Not overpowering, like, when you walk in, people go, "Dude, you put on a lot of cologne," but like an inviting and welcoming scent. That's what I was really going for.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So I have been.
No, go
sorry, go ahead. Oh, no, I was just going to say I've been super busy. So what I've been trying to do is kind of build the whole family of 345, and I have a little brother that has been designing pretty much his whole life, but he's been helping me out a little bit with labels. I think that's been great. I have a really good friend that's kind of helped teach me some design work. Another guy, Ray, helped me out in the fall with Delirium. That was the soap that I came out with about Halloween time. So it's just kind of like a family environment, family business. There you go.
Do you think David will ever get a tribute soap? Even though his face has already been on a couple of labels, he claims to have never had a tribute soap.
I don't know if John really knows that whole history of it all.
No, I don't. I don't. Maybe I've seen a picture. Is that a money
probably
pass?
seen his face on a couple of labels.
Maybe.
Truth be told.
I usually have to pay for those goddamn soaps. They do not count. Nobody's honoring me with nothing. They are still taking my goddamn money. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man.
Well, do you think he'll ever get one?
I would love to, but listen.
Okay, we'll move right on.
Yeah.
Can you
tell me what kind of scent do you want in your face soap? You have to be smiling, though.
There it is. That's it. What are some of your favorite soaps that aren't yours, like just scents? Because I don't want to narrow it down to a particular brand, but are there some scents out there that you really, really enjoy, that you're just, or maybe unique, or just in some way say, I really like that scent. It speaks to me, or you just really love it?
Yes, there are, just like you. Probably, I don't want to.
Tons.
There are, but I don't want to answer that question and slight anybody by leaving them off the list. That's super hard because there are some artisans out there that are doing some really great things. Hub City Soaps, he's doing some really great things. Mm-hmm. Part of the community. Bear Stern Man, they have really good quality. Holy Caw has really good quality. Zingari Man, really. Yeah. I know, and I think that's the thing about in today's age of quality soaps. If you look at all the ones that are out there, they're really good quality.
So, a question I had from Steve. Now, I don't know, this was from yesterday, but he asked, when will Bel Air and White Buffalo be restocked on your site?
I'm actually, when I get off the phone here, I'm actually going to start making some more.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Well, there you go,
Yep.
Steve.
Yep. Tonight and this whole weekend. Yeah. It's open weekend.
Nice. Do you think today Nate was doing a live and he was talking about he has to shave part of his goatee for, hey, Andre, he has to shave part of his goatee to get some moles removed. And he said he was going to go with the stash. Because he said, you know, as I often say, a bald guy looks like a thumb when he has no facial hair. Do you think Nate will look like a thumb if he has to shave the stash and the beard?
I've never heard that before, and that is hilarious. That is exactly what he looks like. Nate, it's nice of you to join the... I can't give him a hard time, dude. That guy is so nice. That guy is so nice.
He's not as nice as you think, believe me, because we talk sometimes when you're not around. So you talked a little bit about using safety razors and so on. Do you have a favorite or a couple that you sort of reach for?
I do. My daily driver is a Rockwell 6S. Backup is a 6C. I have other ones like a Carve, Rex Ambassador, you know, stuff like that.
Very good.
Really, like everybody, I'm really waiting for Charcoal Goods to come back. I think they're going to try and come back in May. I know that you have one and you're ready to sell it to me at a decent price. That's what I heard.
Someone just commented today that, okay, I will trade you for, I'm like, no, I say every time I'm not like letting go of that one because I don't know, because looking at some of his the updates that he's put out, he talked about focusing on the everyday razor and doing some. I haven't really seen anything about him doing those old classic designs that he did early on again. And so I don't know if he's going to do that or not. I know a lot of people want it.
Right. It's an automatic collector item right there.
Yeah.
I think my favorite soap that I have, my favorite razor that I have is a Gillette khaki set from 1918. Just because of the whole military connection. But this one specifically, they actually made two styles. One of them was issued to the Army, and it actually says property of U.S. Army on there. Otherwise, it says USA. And so this one's pretty neat that I have that. It's for the Army. So just the stories behind it that, you know, somebody carried it with them. So
Kim Gray wants to know if you have a favorite blade.
I do. I have two. It used to be Astra SP, but that got bumped to number 2, and now it's a Gillette and Asset.
Okay, that's great.
Those are my two blades. Yeah, and I'm sure there are others out there. But
you have a favorite brush by any chance?
I do. My one that I use the most is from Mojo, and the reason I like it's a really good brush, but I actually won it. And when he first started, he was doing raffles, a lot of raffles. And it has a personal connection because Craig McDonald, who's in the community, actually paid for my spot, and I won it. So that's the one I use the most.
That's awesome.
I have another one where I don't use it as much. It has a razor blade in it. It's blue, has a razor blade in it by Richman. Yeah, those are probably my favorite ones.
Lord Shady wants to know if we think he looks like a thumb because he doesn't have any facial hair. And I would say that every time I see him, he looks like he has a shadow. Like he has enough, I think his beard is dark, so even when it's under the skin, it looks like he has something. And so he doesn't look like a thumb. But I promise you, if I took this away and took the eyebrows away, it would be a thumb. I mean,
there you go.
There's just no doubt about it. That's why you have to have what we call the bald kit.
Yes, you need something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I work with a guy. I work with a guy that's bald, and he shaves his eyebrows.
Oh.
It's the weirdest thing.
That is strange.
Yep.
Can't do it.
It's different. It's different. To each their own. It's different.
Uh-oh. Did we drop out there? No. Looks like they're spinning. Oh, we're back. Correct. Lord Shady said he feels better now. So what are you drinking, John? I can't recall what you were drinking there. I don't know if we asked.
Just some quick Bud Lights.
Just regular
That's
old
it.
beer. Okay, no problem.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with a little easy drinking.
Yep.
That's a little weird, Safferton says. By the way, if you in
That
the
is.
audience have questions, feel free to ask now because my normal controls for questions are not on my screen. So if you are asking, if you're submitting those questions, I'm not seeing them. And normally they're up. Let's see what Kim says there. Well, if you, I know earlier she made a comment saying keep the ladies in mind when making sense. Do you have any plans to have any soaps that are either unisex or more geared for women, perhaps?
I do, in fact. That was one of the things I was talking about earlier with Annie. We're kind of working on something that is designed for ladies in those scents. The soap that I made for her, I have not used that scent yet on anything else, and she really likes it. So that will be coming, absolutely.
So Allie wants to know what's your inspiration when making new scents? I guess it depends on the scent. But.
It does. Either I am creating an idea based on the design of the soap, and then I find a scent and create one that's going to match that, or I think of a scent profile that I want to make, and I match something personal with that. That's kind of how I go about doing it. But I get the inspiration literally from everywhere. Personal life, professional life, everything that I do, I kind of think, I wonder if I can make a soap to match that location, that area, the whatever it is.
Art wants to know what was the first soap that you made or first scent, and are you still making it?
Oh, check this out. I am. Let me find it. Here it is. So I was not in my bathroom when we started. That's why I've had such huge connection problems. And I did see somebody ask if I'm going to make a barbershop scent.
Yes.
I'll get back to that. This was my very first soap that I ever made. Shipwreck. See that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Here it is now.
Yeah, I like it.
So you can see like an upgrade from when I first started to kind of where I'm at now.
My recommendation is to stay away from honeysuckle.
Yeah?
No,
it's not a good one?
Marion's always wanting honeysuckle at all times.
Is he? Maybe I'll explore it. We'll see. But talking about the barbershop scent and that subscription that I was talking about, that's actually the next release after Shark Bite. So Shark Bite is in May. In June, I'm going to do one called Fresh Cut Fade. And that is going to be a extremely clean and fresh barbershop scent.
Sign me up.
I
love the name of it. Sign me up. Fresh Cut Fade.
Yep.
I love it.
And that just comes from me. I have a little, you can't see it because it's gray, but I have a little bit of fade too. I cut my own hair. Like 2 years ago, I got tired of, going to the barber and sitting there and like asking me 50 questions. I'm like, just cut my hair. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start it.
That sounds like Shady.
Yes, so I just started cutting my own hair for about 2 years now.
Well, when you said just
fade.
cut my hair, Shady's often like, don't talk to me, don't speak to me, the neighbors and such. And so I was thinking that was Shady-esque, I would call it.
Oh, okay. No, I'm a super open, friendly guy. Except when you cut my hair, just cut it.
Except when you cut. So do you have anything else that you want to sort of put across tonight? And first of all, I want to say before we get to that, the quality has been wonky tonight. You're going to look like a 1980 video game, pixelated probably when I put it on YouTube, because your audio has come through good. There's been a little echo, but the video has been quite pixelated. But
I'm sorry.
I hope that people will still, have got a sense of what 345 is, and the way you conduct business, and so where you go from here. Where does 345 go from here?
I've thought a lot about that. I think the next level would be to figure out how to scale up, because the demand is starting to get there. Now I just need to bring the supply to that level. And that's really what this year is going to be about. I already have in place, and I'm putting in place some infrastructure things that would help me get to that level. Again, with the huge support of the razor company, top of the chain, some local businesses that wholesale, I think that's just a matter of getting out there, and I think more people are going to start recognizing 345 and make that connection of good quality with affordable price. You know, sky's the limit.
So where are you today as compared to 1 year ago in terms of the volume of business you're doing?
Leaps and bounds, leaps and bounds. And to put it quantifiably, I could barely sell 10 soaps when I came out with the shipwreck for the first time. And now I'm beyond that. So it's exponentially grown from that perspective. I think people are starting to catch on, like, oh, wow, one, John's a good dude. Two, 345 has good products. You know, referring to yourself in the third person, that's super weird. But
go ahead, please.
No, that was it. Just leaps and bounds in a year.
I have to say, the artisans and their relationship with the vendors, like Maggard, Razor Company, just naming two, there are many. I've noticed when they've sort of gotten in those stores, it tends to really help. And I know I have a relationship with the Razor Company, whereas I'll do videos for the Razor Company, and a lot of people are. They have been phenomenal for the community, just reaching out, assisting in every way, just being helpful, not trying to extract every penny from everybody's pocket, trying to be helpful. I've seen guys that had reached 200 or 300 subs, and the Razor Company was helping them out, and so I'm so glad to see folks like you when they get in the vendor site like the Razor Company, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, people are now seeing that, oh, this must be legit if it's landed here. And so cooperation between the artisans and the stock list I think has been an excellent thing. And I think in the past year, the Razor Company has just really, every time you turn around, they're picking up new artisans, and they're really reinvesting in the company, and also investing in the community as well. And so
absolutely, yeah.
I'm quite excited about how that's gone. And I find myself, when I find a new soap that I like just the other day, I used Crown and Crane. Very nice soap for a very affordable price. And I shot the Razor Company a message that, hey, you might want to look at this. And, you know, if it's a fit, maybe they'll carry it, and maybe people will discover that too. And that's wonderful for everybody, especially the consumer.
Absolutely. And I think I want to continue with that growth with other vendors as well. You know, just it has to be a good fit on both sides.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to just like pimp out my soaps to every company just to get it out there. It has to be a good fit. The vendor has to be same values that I have, same perspective and goals that I have as well. But I'm open. Absolutely.
Well, John, anything else you'd like to add before we sign off for the evening?
No, I just want to say thank you. It was nice to meet have you guys all meet me, and thank you, Chris and David. I really appreciate your time.
You're most welcome. And again, I apologize for the echo and the wonky quality and having to try it 3 times. But
I actually don't hear any echo.
Sorry.
I don't hear any echo whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hopefully there won't be in the YouTube video. I know I've seen people even within this chat tonight who have said, "Oh, I'm going to try 345 now," and that always makes me happy when somebody tries something and they're inspired to try it, because I think when they do, they're going to like the product. I really like the product a lot. I think it's well priced for what you're getting. It is a very good value, and I do buy a lot of stuff, but I always like to get good value for my money, and I think your company is certainly one that gives the sort of value that I like, and so I'm really happy to see you doing well, and wishing you continued success into the future.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
David, do you have anything to leave us with this evening?
Well, just my message to John, man. I really appreciate you coming out on here. I love the fact that you've been able to mention members of the community by name. I'm a different type of consumer. I prefer that my money goes to people that actually contribute into the community, not just makes product to make money. You know,
Hmm.
you know people in the community. I appreciate that. You are one of the artisans that I enjoy supporting because you're actually amongst us. You're one of us. You're not just a
Hmm.
vendor. You're just not making product to make money. You seem to actually be involved with what we do. I appreciate you. I appreciate your company, and I look forward to see what 345 does, man. Because you're the type of company that I like to fuck with, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I would
Make sure
also
you buy a
say,
candle. I make candles too, by the way.
I'm down.
I'm going to pass on that, but I would like to recognize a few people because we keep seeing almost every show, Moon Soaps, Barbas. We see Langley. We're seeing Andre from Lancaster. I mean, there's so many folks participating, also coming out to
Hmm.
see our show and to see John. And we thank you, Moon. And I know they have a very busy schedule because they're trying to make new soaps and make new stuff. And so we appreciate you all coming out. And Andre's on vacation. I saw him drop in, and there may be other people that I've missed. And what David hit on there is very important. We do like people who participate with us collaboratively, and it does mean a lot that we sort of enjoy it together and advocate to grow the hobby because that makes it best for everybody, whether you're a content creator or a vendor or an artisan. So we appreciate all you folks, and I
Absolutely.
just want to thank you for your participation. It really does mean a lot. All right, with that,
Absolutely.
I think we're going to wrap it up. David, are you ready to roll?
Hey, I'm good with whatever, man. I'm flexible. If you want to go, we'll go. I'm ready to ride this bitch out to the end.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to sign off for this evening. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, First Canadian. I forgot Randy. I can't
Yes.
forget the Macho Man, Randy Paquette. He's a great guy. He's always participating. And for those of you who might see this at some point, if you're an artisan, get in there and mix it up with us. Have a little fun. And I think you'll find that people will be even more likely to try your product if you're participating. I think it's more fun when we're all doing it together. That's the way I see it. Thank you all. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate you. Until next time, I hope everyone has a great evening. Thank you, David. Thank you, John. God bless you all.
Absolutely. See ya.